Astronomer Paul Craggs recently captured the attention of the astronomy community after releasing a series of incredibly clear images of the mysterious interstellar visitor known as 3I Atlas. His images, taken with equipment far cheaper than the massive instruments used by national space agencies, have reignited the debate about transparency in space research and the growing tensions between amateur astronomers and established institutions. At a time when the world was hungry for clarity about this mysterious object, Craggs provided images that were far sharper and more revealing than those released by multi-billion-dollar agencies. His work raised profound questions about why independent observers seemed to be able to reveal details that official channels could not. Craggs, known in astronomy circles for his dedication and meticulous photography, has been tracking Atlas since its first appearance. Unlike many other observers, he chose to approach the object using long exposure photography, advanced stacking techniques, and a sophisticated calibration method of his own development. The resulting images reveal a luminous, structured body surrounded by a faintly glowing shell with a distinctive shape that many say is significantly clearer than what NASA presented in its widely publicized live stream. The contrast between the two phenomena has sparked intense interest and speculation among interstellar researchers. NASA's live broadcast, which aired in late October, was billed as the moment the public finally got a high-definition view of Atlas. The agency noted that the high-resolution imaging science experiment camera on the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured what it described as one of the clearest images ever of the object. The world eagerly awaited the reveal, especially after weeks of speculation and build-up. But when the final image was shown, viewers were stunned. Instead of the sharp, detailed portrait many had come to expect from a multi-billion-dollar spacecraft, they saw a pale, washed-out appearance that revealed only a tiny glimpse of the object's structure. The disappointment was immediate. Many pointed out that amateur astronomers like Craggs had produced images that showed layers of detail, crisp brightness, and clear shapes, while NASA's release more closely resembled a rough backup or early calibration frame. Social media quickly flooded with side-by-side comparisons, and the idea that an individual with backyard equipment could outperform one of the most advanced imaging devices in the solar system became a hot topic of discussion. Observers noted that NASA's images lacked the contrast, clarity, and multi-band structure that Craggs and others had captured. Observers found the timing of NASA's release of this strange data set particularly puzzling. It had been nearly a month since the high-resolution imaging science experiment had collected the data, and the explanation for the delay that the government shutdown had shut down many departments was unlikely to satisfy the public. After all, it didn't take the entire agency to release a nearly detailless image. A small technical team could have posted it quickly, even under the constraints. The long silence thus fueled suspicions that NASA was considering how to handle information that didn't seem to match amateur observations. The live stream added to the air of mystery. NASA had hinted that the event would yield important details, raising hopes of a groundbreaking reveal. Instead, the global audience was given just a few minutes of brief explanation of the object's orbit, followed by a blurry image. When the broadcast ended, viewers felt left out, as if they had witnessed a withheld announcement. NASA's lack of substantive technical commentary only added to the sense that something too sensitive was being withheld, a treatment not unlike the conspiracy theories that often surround unusual interstellar data. Meanwhile, Paul Craggs continued to attract attention with his Atlas photographs, depicting a long, glowing structure with a central core and symmetrical streaks of light rising from its sides. The shape was completely different from that of a comet or other interstellar rock. The strange symmetry led many to believe that Craggs had captured features that NASA had not, or was deliberately avoiding mentioning. His work quickly spread among astronomers, the unexplained phenomena community, and amateur observers fascinated by the unfolding mystery. The reaction to Craggs's images represents a significant shift in public confidence in the traditional model of scientific observation. For decades, NASA and other major agencies had a near monopoly on space data. But with increasingly widespread modern equipment, amateur observers can record cosmic phenomena with astonishing precision, sometimes enough to match or challenge official data. Combined with instant data-sharing platforms, a new generation of independent observers is emerging. In the eyes of many, Craggs has become a symbol of a new era, where individuals outside the system are shaping the way the world approaches and deciphering interstellar mysteries, sometimes faster than the giant space agencies. His photographs of Atlas continue to deepen the mystery surrounding this elusive object. From early radar data and optical images, Atlas was described as unlike any known comet or asteroid. Its reflectivity was irregular and uneven, its shape was elongated rather than spherical, and its motion appeared purposeful as opposed to the random drifting orbits typically associated with natural objects from outside the solar system. As Craggs's photographs spread, more and more people became convinced that the object had features that suggested it was man-made. The sharp outlines, central highlight, and symmetrical lighting that appeared in the images made this theory suspiciously convincing. On the other hand, NASA's lackluster presentation of the image has raised questions about whether the agency is intentionally withholding details. Critics point to past incidents where NASA's live broadcasts were abruptly interrupted by the appearance of an object, suggesting that this could be another case of selective transparency. Supporters of this view believe that NASA is trying to release only the minimum amount of images to control the wave of speculation about unusual features in Atlas. It was the stark difference between the official image and the sharpness of Craggs's image that became the focus of a wide debate among researchers of unexplained phenomena. Craggs's image is now widely considered one of the most important civilian images ever taken of an interstellar object. His multiple night-long shoots, meticulous alignments, and comparisons through a series of filters allowed him to spot consistent repeating patterns in the object's structure. The consistency of this data gives his work considerable credibility, to the point that many believe that if the images had come from an official source, they would have been considered a groundbreaking discovery. As the Atlas controversy continued to spread, thousands of people around the world began to re-examine previously published interstellar anomalies, finding that NASA images in many cases were similarly lacking in sharpness. In contrast, amateur observers' reconstructions and simulations appeared to have more structure and detail. This, when juxtaposed with Craggs's clear image, further cast doubt on NASA's long-standing reluctance to share high-resolution images of unidentified interstellar objects. Some took it as a sign that these objects might possess properties that defy conventional scientific explanation. Amid the storm of attention, Craggs maintained his composure. He insisted that he was focused on observations, not speculation, though he admitted that Atlas was unlike anything he had ever photographed before. Craggs's slow, measured approach only added to his credibility. While the world debated the Atlas's meaning and origins, he continued to process the images, publish updates, and maintain open communication with other astronomers. Craggs' willingness to share his raw frames, processing procedures, and instrument specifications earned him respect in the international scientific community. Public reaction to NASA's data release continued to reflect growing skepticism. Many argued that an agency with cutting-edge technology state-of-the-art telescopes, and decades of experience should not be outclassed by a single observer. Some question NASA's explanation that the poor image quality was due to distance and angle, when the high-resolution imaging science experiment had previously captured detailed surface textures of Mars from hundreds of miles away. Ultimately, the controversy surrounding Craggs' images and NASA's official data reflects a fundamental shift in public expectations. Observers no longer accept blurry, unconvincing images of important interstellar events. They want clarity, transparency, and timeliness. Craggs' work stands as a living testament to the abilities of a dedicated individual, and the images he creates are a powerful reminder that truth sometimes comes from unexpected places. As the world continues to watch Atlas, the importance of independent observation becomes clearer than ever. Paul Craggs has proven that even without a billion-dollar budget, one determined observer can change the global conversation. His sharp, detailed images force many to rethink what they've been told and open their imaginations to the unsolved mysteries of the universe. Over the years, countless reports and sightings have emerged from astronomers, amateur sky watchers, and even astronauts describing unusual objects observed near the moon. These sightings range from brief glimpses of strange lights and shadows to detailed observations of spacecraft structures moving near the lunar surface. A notable incident occurred a few days ago when an amateur astronomer captured a mysterious object while taking video of the moon. The individual in question was using a Celestron telescope along with an astrophotography camera. They added that they could see the object from the ground without a telescope and said it was moving across the moon and shining brightly. Intrigued by the sight, they quickly adjusted their camera settings and began recording the unidentified object as it moved with graceful precision near the moon. The smooth, graceful movement of the object defied conventional explanations, leading the individual to question the object. They quickly posted the footage on social media, where people began to come up with their own theories about the object. The reaction was immediate, with hundreds of people expressing their excitement and curiosity. People from all over the world expressed their amazement and admiration at the extraordinary sight. The eyewitness account immediately attracted the attention of avid astronomers, who were both fascinated and intrigued by the encounter. The unprecedented event sparked a flurry of activity among amateur astronomers as they pored over the accompanying photographs and painstakingly sought to verify the authenticity of the sighting. The mysterious object, emitting a strange light, posed a puzzling mystery that defied any easy explanation. As the internet discussion began to heat up, experts in the fields of astronomy and astrophysics joined in to contribute their knowledge and insights to the investigation. They carefully examined the details of the light emitted by the mysterious object and conducted thorough analysis of nearby celestial bodies. Many argued that it was not a balloon or a piece of space debris, while skeptics disagreed and said that this was the most likely answer. As the UFO glided across the lunar landscape, the camera captured every detail with incredible clarity and precision. The shape, size, and brightness of the object were unlike anything some users had ever seen before, leading them to speculate about its origin and purpose. The video showed what some described as a spinning disk, emitting a bright light, its surface sparkling brightly as it passed through the sky. Against the rough surface of the moon, the unidentified object seemed to stand out, leading many to question its true nature. Interestingly, this isn't the first time amateur astronomers have captured images of mysterious objects hovering near the moon. In the grand scheme of things, unidentified flying objects have intrigued and mystified people for decades. Amidst the countless reports, one particular type of UFO has consistently stood out: smooth, disc-shaped objects with fluid movements that don't seem to follow any familiar flight patterns. They've been observed for decades, with hundreds of reports every year, enough to make researchers seriously question their true nature. Beyond the accounts of astronauts, a growing number of amateur observers are providing photographic and video evidence of strange objects appearing near the moon, using increasingly powerful telescopes, cameras, and other observational equipment. The footage shows small, dark objects streaking across the lunar surface or hovering as if surveying the area. These sightings have sparked intense debate. Are they purely optical, man-made debris, or something beyond current understanding? The sighting of unidentified flying objects around the moon raises profound questions about their true purpose. If the observations are accurate, it could imply the presence of advanced technology or the covert deployment of military operations beyond Earth's airspace. From a strategic perspective, the sighting of an unidentified object near Earth's natural satellite is difficult to ignore. It raises the possibility that mysterious forces, human or otherwise, are taking a special interest in the area. UFO sightings in the vicinity of the moon also extend beyond the realm of pure science, touching on geopolitical, national security, and even existential concerns. If there are advanced extraterrestrial civilizations or an unknown adversary operating near Earth, humanity faces questions about its ability to identify, defend, and respond to threats that have yet to be identified. In the worst-case scenario, the appearance of strange objects could signal some form of surveillance, exploration, or even preparation for unknown targets. Still, more empirical explanations cannot be dismissed. Some researchers have suggested that UFO sightings near the moon could be caused by orbiting spacecraft, satellites, or other man-made debris, which sometimes reflects light or casts strange shadows. The explosion of commercial space activity, coupled with the sheer number of satellites launched over the past decade, has also contributed to many anomalies that are difficult to distinguish with the naked eye. However, there are still independent scientists and researchers who believe that not all of these observations can be explained by artificial objects. They believe that the appearance of objects with unusual orbits, strange, changing speeds, and symmetrical shapes could be signs of extraterrestrial technology. Although this hypothesis is controversial, it cannot be completely ruled out, especially in the context of the current human understanding of the universe is still very limited, and observation technology, although advanced, still does not capture all activities in near space. It is this intersection of science, mystery, and unproven possibilities that makes UFO observations near the moon continue to be a focus of attention, attracting research communities and enthusiasts worldwide. As technology continues to advance, it has played a key role in improving our ability to accurately capture and analyze unidentified objects. Photographs and videos are steadily improving in clarity, and as more and more people point their telescopes to the sky, it seems inevitable that we will soon have clear evidence of the true nature of these objects. Advances in technology have reduced the blurriness, allowing for sharper images and videos that capture the mysteries of the sky. A growing number of unidentified objects have now been observed near the moon, leading many to consider the region a hotspot. The UFO sightings off the coast of Trindade Island near Brazil have become one of the most intriguing phenomena of the 20th century, not only because they were directly observed by Navy officers, but also because of the series of officially authenticated photos of the disc-shaped object, a rarity in UFO history. These encounters, dating back to the late 1950 seconds, were not isolated incidents. They were often witnessed by multiple witnesses with important positions in the Brazilian Navy, which greatly increased the credibility of the phenomenon. During the same period, Brazil's Atlantic coast became a hotspot for UFO sightings, many of which also left behind images showing objects similar in shape to the one that appeared at Trindade, creating a series of mysteries that continue to confuse the public. The context of these events became even more intriguing when, in October 1957, the Brazilian Navy established a scientific research program on Trindade Island, an uninhabited island located about 600 miles off the coast of Brazil. The isolated island became the perfect natural laboratory for oceanographic, meteorological, and other scientific research. A key part of the program involved launching weather balloons into the upper atmosphere to collect data. When the balloons exploded, the measuring instruments were parachuted down, and the island team was tasked with recovering them for analysis. It was in this rigorous research environment that strange phenomena began to occur, as disc-shaped metallic objects suddenly appeared, hovering near the balloons, as if silently observing all the activities that were taking place. The climax of the chain of events occurred on the morning of the 1st of January, 1958, at exactly 8, when a strong beam of light suddenly flashed across the sky, dazzling like a mirror reflection in the sun. Almost everyone present at the foot of the mountain saw it, creating an unforgettable moment of collective astonishment. Just one day later, as the sun had just set, a strange orange round object appeared only about 400 meters away from the previous sighting. It approached the naval ship Triunfo and circled the ship continuously for about 10 minutes before suddenly accelerating and disappearing from sight at a speed that could not be explained by the technology of the time. These two consecutive events left a deep impression on the witnesses, at the same time giving rise to a wave of endless speculation and debate about the true nature of the inexplicable objects. Trindade Island, a remote research outpost, has become the center of one of the greatest UFO mysteries in modern history. The photographs and the number of credible witnesses make it one of the most convincing cases, leaving unanswered questions about whether we witnessed a rare natural phenomenon or the presence of an unknown force operating quietly just off the coast of Brazil. In the early morning hours of January 6, Commander Carlos Bacellar oversaw a seemingly routine weather balloon launch under clear, sunny skies with only a single cloud at an altitude of about 14,000 feet. Little did anyone know that this routine event would be the start of one of the most mysterious phenomena the project had ever recorded. When Bacellar returned to base to monitor the signal, he noticed that all data from the balloon had suddenly disappeared. He immediately went outside to check and witnessed the balloon, upon touching the cloud, suddenly rise as if pulled by an invisible force, then disappear for 10 minutes before reappearing without any research equipment. The strange disappearance of the instruments stunned the entire team. Soon after, a silver crescent-shaped object emerged from the clouds and hurtled toward the horizon, adding to the mystery. Just over a week later, on January 16, an even more astonishing event occurred as the Almirante Saldanha anchored off Trindade, prepared to sail to Rio de Janeiro. Before the eyes of the crew and passengers, a bright silver object slowly approached, causing a commotion throughout the ship. Photographer Almiro Baraúna was called onto deck by two Navy officers who had hurried to witness the glowing object approaching the island. Baraúna had trouble locating the object at first, but when he saw a strange flash in the sky, he immediately raised his camera and took a picture. After the first two shots, the object disappeared behind the mountain peaks, then returned larger and faster. He managed to take a third before the object accelerated so much that all subsequent shots were blurred. The crowd jostling on deck made it nearly impossible to get another shot. As the object moved away, Baraúna took another shot of it shrinking toward the horizon. He described the object as metallic gray, covered in a pale blue mist, and with a ring around its body. Although the negatives could not be developed on board, they clearly showed the object. When the ship reached Rio, Baraúna took possession of the film, developed it himself in the studio, and passed it on to Commander Bacellar. The photos were immediately sent to the Navy Ministry for examination. After careful analysis, no signs of manipulation were found, forcing the Navy to confirm their authenticity. The photos were quickly released to the public, attracting media attention and numerous eyewitness interviews. The incident was further shocked when UFO researcher Olavo Fontes revealed that a Navy source said that military radar had detected an unidentified flying object just 1 day before Baraúna took the photo, making the Trindade sightings one of the most convincing UFO mysteries ever recorded. The events that took place on Trindade Island, from the mysterious disappearance of a hot air balloon to a series of verified UFO photos, have created one of the most shocking stories that defied all scientific explanations in the last century. Despite the passage of decades, the mystery has not faded, but has even been increasingly illuminated as humanity entered the era of modern space observation. The strange objects hovering in the sky of Brazil, seen by dozens of witnesses and recorded in real images, continue to raise the big question: what are we really facing? An unknown natural phenomenon, a secret technology beyond the capabilities of the era, or something beyond imagination? If you find stories like this fascinating and want to continue exploring the unsolved mysteries of the universe, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes. Leave a comment below. What do you think of the Trindade event? Is this evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence, or is there something else hidden behind the clouds? And remember to follow to stay updated with the latest content where we dive deeper into the secrets waiting to be revealed.